You've been there, guys. Staring at your phone, scratching your head, trying to decode what she meant when she hit you with "I just need some space," only to post a bikini pic 3 hours later like she's auditioning for a reality show. You're not losing it. She's just playing the game. But here's the deal. High-value men don't get caught in the trap. They don't chase. They don't beg. They don't spiral. They outsmart the game with a quiet storm of confidence, magnetic presence, and unrelenting purpose. If you're ready to level up and become the kind of man who commands respect without saying a word, then stick with me and WisdomWavesAura, because we're diving deep into the mindset that makes you unstoppable. Picture this. She's pulling back and you're tempted to fire off a text, maybe even a paragraph, trying to figure out what's going on. Stop right there. A high-value man doesn't react to the game. He sees it for what it is. He's not confused when she starts acting distant because he's already clocked the patterns. Those late replies that make your stomach twist, that's her trying to spark anxiety. That flirty comment she left on some guy's post, a test to see if you'll lose your cool. Those cryptic captions on her stories begging for attention, just bait. But the high-value man, he doesn't bite. He's not sending a wall of text, double messaging, or asking, "Did I do something wrong?" Why? Because he's not scrambling for her validation. He's filtering for authenticity, and he's got the emotional discipline to stay in control. When she plays cold, he stays warm in his own world, grounded in his purpose. When she tries to get under his skin, he flashes a smirk, because he knows the game only works if you play along. Step back, watch the chessboard, and you're untouchable. That's the WisdomWavesAura way, seeing through the noise and staying steady. Most guys get it twisted. They fall for the surface-level stuff, chasing after the hottest girl in the room. But a high-value man? He's different. He doesn't reward looks alone. He rewards what's real. We're living in a world where attention is like currency, and some women know exactly how to cash in, acting distant, throwing tantrums, dropping vague "what are we" bombs to see if they can control your emotions. If they can, respect goes out the window. But if they can't and you hit them with calm, direct honesty, that's when the dynamic shifts. She says, "I'm not sure where I'm at right now." You say, "Cool, figure it out, I'm not waiting around." She tries, "I don't want a relationship, but let's keep talking." You shut it down. "I don't do gray areas, my energy's too valuable for confusion." When she finally drops the games and shows up with clarity, that's when you give her a glimpse of the real you. You're not matching manipulation with more games. You're setting a standard. You're teaching her, if you want a place in my life, bring peace or keep it moving. That's the kind of wisdom we're building on WisdomWavesAura, rewarding authenticity and cutting through the noise. Let's talk about your frame, because this is where the rubber meets the road. Your frame is your foundation, your principles, your vibe, the way you carry yourself when the world's throwing chaos your way. A high-value man never sacrifices his frame, not even for the most jaw-dropping woman he's ever met. Women don't fall for guys who bend under pressure. They're drawn to men who stand like a mountain, unshaken. The moment you start compromising your boundaries to win her over, you're done. She cancels plans last minute. You don't sulk, you make new ones. She hits you with the silent treatment. You give silence right back, not to play games, but because you don't chase chaos. She says, "You're too hard to read." You smile and say, "Good. I'm not here to impress." That's the move. Holding your frame makes you magnetic, because it shows you're rooted in your truth. She either respects it or walks away, but either way, you're not shrinking to fit her world. You're building something bigger, and WisdomWavesAura is here to guide you every step of the way. Now let's get real about detachment, because this is the secret most guys don't learn until they've been burned a few times. The harder you try to hold on to her, the faster she slips through your fingers. You can't chase your way into a woman's heart, especially when she's testing your backbone. Detachment isn't about being cold or shutting off your emotions, it's about freedom. It's about not clinging to what she's thinking, not obsessing over her mixed signals, not derailing your life just to get a few extra minutes with her. A high-value man knows that what's meant for him flows effortlessly. Drama, confusion, and inconsistency, those are red flags, and he doesn't stick around to figure them out. If she's posting thirst traps for the world to see, he doesn't engage. Because if she's giving everyone access, she's not earning his exclusivity. He walks away from jealousy games, ignores attention ploys, and protects his mental peace like it's the most valuable thing he owns. Because it is. When you master detachment, you choose dignity over desire, and that's a power move. She'll either step up with respect or fade into the background with the guys who live to chase her. Either way, you're standing tall, unshaken, and that's the kind of strength we're cultivating on WisdomWavesAura. Here's where it gets deadly effective. A high-value man lets her choose, but he's the one making the decision. He gives her space to be feminine, to flirt, to pursue, but deep down he's the one deciding if she's worth his energy long-term. She can be stunning, magnetic, even head over heels for him, but if she brings stress, instability, or manipulative tactics, he's out. No begging, no drama, just a silent exit that says, "I choose peace." His decisions aren't driven by thirst, they're anchored in standards. She might say all the right things, but if her actions don't line up, he's already halfway, out the door. That silence? It's louder than any argument. You can't play games with a man who's not afraid to walk away. You can't manipulate a man who values his focus over fleeting affection. And you can't test a man who's already passed the only test that matters, loyalty to himself. That's the kind of clarity we're bringing to you on WisdomWavesAura, helping you make decisions that keep you in the driver's seat. Let's break it down further. When you stay in your masculine frame, every moment you prioritize peace over panic. Every second you choose purpose over chasing. You're not just attractive. You're unforgettable. Women don't want a man they can control. They want a man they can respect. And respect is born from calm, quiet strength. It's in the way you don't flinch when she tests you, the way you hold your ground when she pushes, the way you walk away when she brings chaos. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you the kind of man who doesn't just turn heads, he changes the game. On WisdomWavesAura, we're not just talking about dating tips. We're building men who command respect with every step they take. Think about the last time you got caught up in overthinking, replaying her texts, wondering if you said the wrong thing, trying to crack the code of her mixed signals. That's energy you're never getting back. A high-value man doesn't waste his time on that. He's too busy building his empire, sharpening his mind, and living a life that doesn't revolve around anyone else's approval. When you operate from that place of strength, you become a magnet. She'll notice the way you move with purpose, the way you don't crumble under pressure, the way you're unbothered by her tests. And that's when she starts to chase, because she's drawn to a man who's whole without her. That's the power of the WisdomWavesAura mindset. You don't need to chase love. You attract it by being unshakable. Let's talk about what happens when you put this into practice. Imagine she's pulling one of those classic moves, going silent for a day, then posting a story that's clearly meant to get a reaction. The old you might have sent a text, maybe even called her out. But the new you, the one who's been tuning into WisdomWavesAura, you let it slide. You hit the gym, crush your work, and keep your focus on what matters. When she comes back around, and trust me, she will, she's not dealing with a guy who's rattled. She's dealing with a man who's calm, centered, and in control. That's when she starts to wonder, who is this guy? And the answer is simple. You're the man who doesn't play the game. You're the man who sets the standard. You're the man who's building something bigger than fleeting attention. If this is hitting home, if you're done with the overthinking, the chasing, the games, then it's time to make a shift. Prove it to yourself right now. Drop the word unshakable in the comments and let the WisdomWavesAura community know you're stepping into your power. This isn't just about dating, it's about becoming the kind of man who commands respect in every area of life. Tap that subscribe button, because you're not alone in this journey. On WisdomWavesAura, we're building a tribe of men who don't beg for love. They attract it with silence, strength, and unrelenting focus. Until next time, stand tall, speak less, and watch everything. Let's keep riding the wave of wisdom together.